In the 1920s, Paris was alive with jazz, fashion, and post-war rebuilding. And in the middle of it all, a man named Victor Lustig was about to pull off one of the greatest cons in history. Lustig was no ordinary scammer. He spoke 5 languages, carried himself like royalty, and could charm anyone in the room. But behind the charm was a man who had forged a career out of deceit. He sold fake inventions, counterfeit bonds, and eventually, an idea so bold, it sounded insane. That idea? Selling the Eiffel Tower. At the time, the Eiffel Tower wasn't the beloved symbol it is today. It had been built for the 1889 World's Fair, and by the 1920s it was rusting, expensive to maintain, and widely considered an eyesore by many locals. So Lustig saw an opportunity. He forged documents identifying himself as a government official assigned to a confidential project, the sale of the Eiffel Tower for scrap. Then, he invited 6 wealthy scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting at an expensive hotel in Paris. He told them the government wanted to dismantle the tower, quietly, and since it would cause public uproar, it had to be handled discreetly. He even gave them official-looking papers, fake of course, and made it seem like time was running out to be part of this once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Among the 6 wealthy scrap dealers Lustig invited to the hotel, one man stood out, André Poisson. He was eager, ambitious, and most importantly, desperate to prove himself in the Paris business world. Lustig noticed this instantly, so he pulled Poisson aside for a private conversation, pretending to be conflicted. He hinted that as a government official, he wasn't being paid much, and that a small token of appreciation might help speed up the process. Poisson took the bait. He handed Lustig a bribe, on top of his bid, to secure the deal, and just like that, the con was complete. Lustig took thousands of francs, vanished with the forged documents, and left Poisson waiting for demolition orders that would never come. When Poisson realized he'd been conned, he was so embarrassed, he didn't even report it to the police. To Lustig, this silence was golden, and instead of skipping town for good, he did something no one expected. He came back to Paris to do it again. After successfully disappearing with a fortune, Victor Lustig returned to Paris just a month later. He picked a new group of scrap metal dealers, held another private hotel meeting, and once again posed as a government official selling off the Eiffel Tower. This time, though, something changed. One of the dealers got suspicious. The official documents looked off, and the government's secrecy seemed too convenient. Unlike Poisson, this man contacted the police. Lustig, sensing the shift, vanished just hours before the trap closed in. He escaped Paris again, this time for good, but his story didn't end there. He eventually moved to the United States, where he returned to old tricks, selling counterfeit money machines, forging bonds, and outsmarting investigators. He was finally caught in 1935 by the Secret Service after a long game of cat and mouse. When arrested, agents found a note in his pocket. It read, "I had visions of being a great man, but I became a swindler." Victor Lustig died in Alcatraz prison in 1947, but his legacy lives on as the man who sold the Eiffel Tower, not once, but twice. Like, comment, and subscribe if this is one of the wildest stories you've ever heard.